You know what cutie marks are?
Is it the thingy on their butt?
What's up, you guys? It's T.
And it's Cindy.
And it's Tea Time with Cindy. And welcome back to another episode. What are we talking about today?
That's a good question. What are we talking about today?
What are we talking about today? Okay, well, life updates. I feel like today my mood has been very, I don't know if it's the changing of the seasons, but because fall is coming up and, like seasonal depression and all that, I know a lot of people can relate, but I literally feel empty inside.
Oh,
Question mark. It's like weird. It's like, I just don't feel anything. Sometimes I get this way and then it passes. So that's my life update. So if I feel like I'm talking kind of like meh today, I think it's just because I'm like going through the motions of life, but inside I'm just like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. Seasonal depression.
I mean, I feel like that's perfectly normal. You don't have to feel happy or angry or whatever all the time. It's normal to feel, I think the word's indifferent, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not happy, you're not particularly sad, you just feel nothing. I have went through periods of time like that, but maybe it really is the changing of the seasons, because
that's what I notice.
Because you're going from like the sunny, like summertime, where everybody associate that with happiness, yellow, all the brightness, but then you're going to fall, which is changing from the vibrancy to a more muted, earthy tone. So your feelings probably evolving with the seasons too.
Right.
So I totally get what you mean, because I feel indifferent as well.
Like right now?
I was probably last week, but I've been feeling myself getting better. I remember when it first became cold, I don't know why I'm upset or sad. Or
I know, because it was cold for like 2 days, and then that's when the feelings started coming, and it's like back to being hot, and I'm like, well, it's still the fall, so I don't know. I guess the feelings still stand, but when I feel like, oh, fall is coming, my brain is like, fall's coming, time to be sad.
Well, at least you think about like fall time is also time for cuddles, warmth, more gathering with friends and seeing your family, and but we also like, it's kind of weird. I wonder if we're like sinking right now.
Oh my gosh, maybe.
Because I feel like a lot has happened as well. So I feel like our body needs a little break from emotions right now.
Yeah. Our bodies are they're like, I don't know, cool down zone, I guess. Or I guess I feel like that sometimes after, not a traumatic event, but after some sort of emotional event that takes a lot of emotional energy out of me, and I'll be really upset or really angry or some sort of negative emotion, and then after that I just kind of feel empty a little bit, and then it goes back to normal. After like, I guess, an emotionally charged event, I will just feel nothingness and just go about my day. I'm pretty much like a robot on the outside, like doing my job. Oh, hello, so and so, how are you? Haha, I am fine. On the inside, it's just like I'm just sitting there pressing the controls, like, oh, say that. Oh, good. Okay. Oh, someone else is coming. Ooh, press that button. Like, I don't know. I guess that's how I describe it. But that's how I'm feeling right now. I probably won't feel this next week. It'll probably be over. So that's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah. You get over things really fast. If you don't get over it really fast, then that's probably something you have to address and probably look deeper into. But it'll pass. I mean, just remember all the good times that had happened. For example, you recently had a Halloween party. So.
Yes, which is so fun. Like, I love throwing parties. Y'all know that.
How was that?
It was really good. I bought way too much liquor. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm dead.
I bought like $200 worth of alcohol, and this one was really chill, so not a lot of people drank it, but that's okay, because it's always nice to have a little like liquor stash for another party or whatever. But yeah, if I were have you watched My Little Pony?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what cutie marks are?
Is it the thingy on their butt?
Yes.
Do you have one on your butt?
No. But your cutie mark or whatever, it's like your
Oh, is it
like
what
your passion or your job or, you know,
Yeah.
whatever you're meant to do or whatever.
Yeah.
Girl, mine would be throwing parties because I love throwing parties. I don't know. I just love it.
I can just see like different faces of people on your butt.
They're just like cheering, like, party.
Oh, you love hosting people. I love that.
I do. I don't know why, but it makes me happy. It's one of my hobbies, I would say, which is funny because I don't think that's like normally a hobby.
I think it is.
It is? Okay, okay.
Because you just enjoy having a gathering with all your friends.
Yeah.
It's a time for you to catch up with people. It's also a time for you to get updates on people's lives. It also gives you to see who really is your friend and who is not. Like when you invite them, especially.
Yes.
If you invite them to several and they don't show up and keep canceling on every single one.
Yeah, you kind of have to keep tabs on those kind of people. And I don't want to say that I do, but for the people that haven't been showing up to my parties, maybe you're on that list.
Giving the side eye.
Uh-oh. I don't know.
I can feel the side eye.
So you've been to like 2 in a row. You are not on that list. I actually wouldn't say I have like a list because everyone is very, how do you say?
Busy?
No. Everyone is always actually very accommodating to my requests for them to show out. And they actually do come. So yeah, I actually don't really have like a list, but yeah.
That's good because I believe the first time I ever met you and Sean was like an afters at your place.
Oh, was it? Oh my God.
I think the first one would be like when Bose was here.
Oh my gosh, really?
That was a long time ago. I think
That
that was the
was-
very first one. that
Yeah.
came. Oh,
Okay.
exactly like a year now. So I always love how sweet and welcoming and inviting you both are. So
Thank you.
it's always a great time with you guys.
Our house is the house.
Yes, it is. I remember
Yeah.
before leaving, I was just, like, it was 1:30. I was like, good luck. There's people. Did people show up at 2?
Yeah. People, like, for the afters, people will stay until, like, 4. Or, like, if we throw a party and it's, like, 4, people are still dancing and stuff and mingling. I've had to turn on the lights and get up on a chair and be like, everybody get out of my house. Like, get out. Like, I've had to do that a few times. But I guess it's just because our house is, you know, the spot.
It is the spot. Everybody
Yeah.
knows it as the after house.
Yes.
But damn, people did show up at 2.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie. I must have been pretty messed up because I don't remember meeting you that night.
Oh.
I remember knowing of you, but the time that I really remember was in Las Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I would think there was a time before I sat at y'all's table for some Vietnamese VDM night a
Oh.
long time ago. But
Yes.
yeah, that's
Okay.
when I know of y'all.
I remembered I met you once before Las Vegas, but we didn't like
Click
we
or
didn't like
talk,
talk or
yeah.
anything. So it was
Until
just
Vegas.
like until Vegas, exactly.
Yeah, not gonna lie, that night when Sean invited me out in Vegas that night, I was a little nervous.
Were you?
Yeah, because I only know Sean and kind of John and stuff, so I was just like, oh, I don't know if I mesh well with the girls and stuff.
I
'Cause, you
know.
know, we were barely talked or anything.
Yeah.
And again, like, I am a very socially awkward,
Oh my gosh.
anxiety-ridden person.
But I think it works out because I think all of us are. All of us kind of have that within us. So it's kind of like, oh, she's not talking to me? That's okay, because what if I say something stupid? And it's like, oh, she's talking to me? Okay, nice. Maybe I should say something. You know, it's kind of like a either or is fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay not talking. I'm okay talking.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I always feel like I always feel pressure to keep a conversation going.
Me too.
Or having to start the conversation, but it gets really tiring.
It gets tiring, and then I feel like because I feel the need to keep that conversation going, I feel like I say things that are like, why did I say that?
Yeah. Yeah. So like you don't think before you talk because you're just trying to make a conversation.
Exactly.
Then I realized I hate small talk, and I would rather be with people that are comfortable in silence.
In silence, exactly.
Because we don't always have to talk.
Yeah, we could just sit in silence, or I don't know. One time my teacher said, sometimes it's the people that are gabbing the most, they really don't have anything to say. Yeah.
That's a very interesting perspective.
Yeah, it's like the people that are constantly running their mouth usually don't have anything to say. Or what they say is not, I don't want to say not significant. I don't know the exact words, but it's pretty much, if you're constantly running your mouth, usually the the sentiment is not very deep. So
like it's a very superficial,
Yeah,
very,
it's-
very like surface level. That's a very interesting take because lately I've been hearing a lot of people have been telling me is just sit back and just observe
exactly.
instead of react. Don't think about, think before you speak.
Yes.
Because you are right. Sometimes when I do talk, I do say things that I didn't mean to, and I would be like, oh, I
yeah.
say that, or like, oh damn, I wish I could take that back.
I know. It's like why did I say that? I didn't even mean to say that. Or another teacher said one time, if you have a concept in your head and you can't get it out into words or can't get it out on writing, maybe the thought in your head wasn't even a good thought in the first place. Maybe it was just a jumbled up mess that you think it's something and it's just really not. Which I was like, yeah, that's true, because in college when I used to write essays and stuff and I didn't really know what I was talking about, yeah, like my essays would be just a load of crap. 'Cause I'd be like trying to form that thought and it's not really a thought. You're just trying to force it, but it doesn't make sense, so don't force it.
I'm low-key glad we were editing these. We're recording and editing these.
Yeah, exactly, because people have asked me, oh, would you ever do live? No.
Maybe we'll get to that at one point, but I feel like more of the light-hearted ones where we're
Yeah.
like with friends
playing games or something.
or having laughs and all. I feel like those are much more easier than talking about trauma.
Yeah.
and dissecting trauma.
Yeah.
Because with trauma, it's just like, there would be a lot of crying. So maybe like if we do trauma live, it'll be like 40 minutes of all of us crying. Okay.
When I had to edit that video of us crying, yeah, I had to cut out, a good chunk of us just going.
But I promise we will not always cry on all of our podcasts. Okay. Maybe.
I'm a crybaby. But no, yeah, lives, I don't know. I would literally have to go through severe media training because I just be saying stupid stuff sometimes, just totally by accident or just to fill in that empty space. Like, oh, what do I say? You guys want to hear a funny story? Like, it's just like, it's like a curse.
I feel like once we can probably set one, but not until a lot later.
Oh, yeah.
A lot later.
We'll have to figure out that kind of technology because I'm dumb as rocks. I don't know how to do any of that stuff.
We can do YouTube live.
Yeah.
You can go live on that.
Oh, okay.
If anybody also have any social media tips, please send your way.
I know, because
as
this
much
is
as
not my forte.
it's a little bit mine, but at the same time, it's just it's a little on the difficult side because you do have to keep posting until you hit that stride. And I would see we will almost hit it, but then like it dies down. So I'm just like, ugh. So
Yeah.
if there is somebody that can teach me social media better, please.
Yeah, teach Cindy because
Yeah.
I have the mental capacity. I am terrible at branding myself. I feel like if I was able to brand myself better, I probably would have gotten way more modeling opportunities or something like that. But social media is not my forte, and that is huge in this day and age as branding yourself. Of course, as influencers, your face is posted everywhere.
Yeah.
You have to be consistent. TikToks alone, like 2 or 3 a day sort of thing.
Yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
People are gonna get tired of my face.
But you
our
know,
face.
You'd be surprised because they won't be. That's how you
true.
get big, is like having to constantly post all the time and then just wait for one of them to pop off and then the rest,
we'll follow suit.
We'll follow suit, exactly.
Yeah, we'll find that stride.
Yeah, maybe.
One of our video almost hit that stride. When I saw
Eventually.
the numbers views, I was climbing. I was like, oh,
It's happening.
I was like, okay, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, eventually.
But I do want to talk about something though that kind of crossed my mind that I kind of saw lately that's been happening. What would you do if you know somebody that's cheating on their significant other?
What would I do?
I don't want to be too specific, because I
Okay.
know like there's 2 separate sides to it, but
Yeah.
like from your close friends to your siblings, or I'm sorry, family members,
Yeah.
or to someone you barely know. What would you do? You could break it down to like categories. too.
Okay. Yeah, let's break it down to like each sort of hypothetical. So if So if I found out that my, let's say, best friend, if my best friend was cheating on their partner, but I was not friends with their partner before they got together, like I've only known their partner through them as the boyfriend of my best friend. Okay, this sounds so bad, but it's not my business. You know? Like, I feel like in high school I would say, oh my gosh, I would tell the partner, because that's so messed up, and cheating is wrong, and cheating is, and oh, like that's awful, and you shouldn't do that. I mean, of course you shouldn't cheat. Like, please do not go cheat on your partners. But I think back in high school, or back in, you know, when I was younger, I think I would take a more active stance on it. But I feel like from everything that I've learned this year about myself and about interpersonal relationships, the one thing that I've picked up is that I need to mind my own business, and that I should not be getting intertwined in other people's business. You know what I mean? I think I would tell my best friend, hey, I don't know if this is a good idea, or if you cheat on him or her, you should just leave them. Okay. You should tell them, and then you should leave them, because obviously you cheated on them. Maybe you don't like them as much as you thought you did. I don't know. This is all, I've never experienced this, so I feel like I don't really know exactly what I would do, but I would tell them what I would do, which is to tell my partner the truth. And then I mean, of course, if it were me, I wouldn't want to break up with him, but then why would I cheat on him in the first place? You know what I mean? It's just that's a lot. That's cheating is probably number one on my, like, don't do that. Don't do that list. Don't cheat on me, please. So all you can do is tell your friend to, you know,
to tell their partner,
do the right thing. But at the end of the day, they are their own person. You can tell them to do so many things, and it's up to them whether or not they want to listen to that. And what I've noticed is when people are ranting to you about a certain situation, they're not really looking for advice, they're looking for validation. So I've come to the terms lately of asking straight up, do you want advice or do you want validation? Just so that I can prep myself, because I am very much the advice kind of person. Of course, I'll validate where I think it's appropriate, but I don't know, like, I always just, like, take it on myself as my business, which is something that I really need to stop doing. So I think that's what I do. I think I think if it'd be different if they were together and they were both my friends, then I'd be a little bit more concerned, like, dude, that's my best friend, you can't do that to them. You need to tell them, or I will tell them.
So, like, it depends on the level of friendship.
It depends on the level of friendship, but ultimately I really would tell them, you need to tell them, and that's it. If I found out that my best friend's partner was cheating on them, I would tell my best friend. I wouldn't tell their partner, like, hey, you better go tell her, or else I'm going to tell her. Like, no, I'm going to tell her.
Yeah, because that's your best friend.
Because that's my friend. Like, I look out for me and my people. I'm not going to give that partner a second chance, because I don't know them. I don't care about them. I care about my friends.
Would you say if your best friend decided not to tell their partner, would you distance yourself from your friend, or how would the friendship change in your eyes?
That is so hard, because people are people. To put it in the most basic terms, right? Cheating is bad. The action itself is bad, and there's so much that goes into that, and you are hurting another person. Like, it's really not good. Cheating is bad. Like, point blank period, cheating is bad. But I wouldn't say that is a defining personality trait or a defining character of that being, you know? Not to say that, oh, they just made a mistake, because I don't think cheating is ever a mistake either, you know?
God, though, how can you mistakenly
cheat? You can't ever mistakenly cheat. Cheating is an active thing that you participate in. But I think it's just so hard. I think if my best friend cheated on their partner, I wouldn't lose my friend over something like that. I might see them in a different light, but we have our whole lives ahead of us. This one thing that they did, I don't think I would hold it against them for the rest of their life, you know? Because while the thing that they did was bad, that's just not that people make mistakes, because cheating is not a mistake, but sometimes people fall into a little bit of darkness and all you can do is kind of be there for them. And, you know, to forgive them is one thing and to continue being friends with them is another thing. But I don't know. That's kind of how I see it. That's a tough one. I don't know. What would you do?
Honestly, I would probably distance myself because I feel like I don't want that type of energy within my own energy. Especially if I did give them a choice to let their partner know, because I don't condone cheating at all. I have been cheated on, and I have been the other person too. And on both sides, it's such a sucky feeling. It sucks.
Yeah.
But I would say that I would never do it again. So you are right that people do make this worst, stupidest, dumbest mistake, even though it isn't a mistake. It was what's the word? It was a dumb decision.
Yeah.
At that time of my life, but it was a decision made because I had so much trauma and so much things to work on. Yeah. And after breaking my heart being broken and seeing my partner's heart being broken, it awoken something inside me to just, I've never want to ever put anybody in that position again, or have anybody be in that position, because it really does break your trust in relationship and in love. And even though being cheated on, it never stopped me from going out to meet other people, but it did give me that mindset of, oh, if I was cheated on, maybe I should do it on other people too. But then that kind of like very toxic thinking is very, very toxic. It's very, very, very small-minded, very small energies. It's not a great mindset to be in, and that helped me realize that I'm coming from a place where I have a lot of healing to do. And so going back to it, I would distance myself a little from my friend if they continued to cheat on their partner.
Yeah, I think if they continued to act in that way, then maybe that does become sort of their character.
Yeah. And so that way they realize that you're not just losing your partner, but you're going to lose your friends too. Yeah. Especially if I'm trying to let you know it's not a great feeling at all. Yeah. Having to wonder what your partner's doing and having that fear in your back of your head that what they're doing is not because they're blindly trusting you. Blindly. And part of me would honestly let them know if you really I am going to be that type of person. If you don't let them know, I don't care if we are best friends. Either you tell me what's going on in your life that you're doing this, or I'm gonna go tell your partner, right? Because y'all need to sit down and talk about something. Because I feel like, as I've said, I came from a place where I need a lot of healing. Maybe my best friend is going through something that she's not letting anybody know. Maybe she's going through something that she is probably needs to heal on. And so if I'm giving her a chance to speak or speak up, then, and she's not going to take that chance, I'm be like, I'm sorry, then I'm going to walk away or create just a little bit of distance until she reaches out again. Because no matter how many good memories or anything that we have together, they need to learn themselves. Right. And if learning is basically clipping their wings from my support, then I would rather do that so they can understand like what they're doing is not right. It's not right at all. Because I really have no issues walking away from people when they start showing negative feelings, emotions, decisions, because I don't want to be surrounded in that type of environment or be surrounded by people like that anymore. Because to me, I worked too hard to get to the mindset I am at now, and I feel like you are who you are surrounded with. Yes. And after recently, a couple weeks ago, it opened my eyes that I have been surrounding myself around people that weren't really healthy for my mindset, or like I keep feeling like we've all just outgrew each other.
Yeah, I will say, I think it depends on if it was like their first time cheating and they felt so remorseful about it and they did come to terms with it and, you know, make amends, then by all means, yeah, that's different. If they are chronically cheating, I wouldn't want to have that person in my life. I agree with that statement because loyalty is like a really big thing for me, and, you know, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. I think there's always room for forgiveness if the other person also feels
The
remorse as well. If they're not sorry, if they continue cheating, if they don't really care, then it's like, whoa, like why am I like why am I friends with you? But I agree with that statement that you had said before too, is that you are the company you keep. And I used to like talk to my trainer about issues that I was having with my friends and stuff, and he was like, you are the company you keep. And I was like, but I don't agree with that statement because I am not like that. I don't agree with them and all that stuff. And now I'm starting to realize, yeah, you are the company you keep, because why would I want to keep their company if I don't agree with them? So that, it makes so much sense to me now after reflecting a lot about my relationships with others and stuff.
I feel like it also applies to family members and honestly family members too.
Yeah.
Because if it applies to like people that you're like, oh, this person's like a stranger cheating on somebody and all, it's just like, damn. But then I'm also a girl's girl. If I'm like somebody I don't know and I see your man is cheating on her or whatever, I'm just be like,
yeah,
that's not right.
Yeah.
I'll just send a little message. But I feel like it's also like one of those things where you're right, is like the level of friendship I have with that person. But at the same time, there's also a lot of TikToks and like reels nowadays where people are exposing cheaters.
Oh my God, I know. You guys have to be careful out there. Or don't be careful so that you can be caught, because that's messed up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't post it online because I feel not everything needs to be shared online. But
Right.
if I can, I would try to find the girl or guy. But at the same time, I also have to think, how much am I invested into this too? Because you're right, it's energy, or like it's maybe sometimes you don't know what the situation is either. And you don't know what the situation is going on between everybody. So sometimes you poking your head into it might poke the bear too.
Yeah, because I've definitely had times where I made something that was not my business, and it blew up tenfold.
Oh.
And my therapist literally said, you made it your business, and then that's what happened. And I was like, that is so true, queen. Gotta start minding my business.
I mean, there's a fine line between putting your business or making it into your business or not. If it's like, I don't know, somebody stuck under a burning car, I'm gonna make it my business right though.
Yes.
But or like if somebody needs help, if they're getting
If it's like a life-threatening situation, or a hate crime is going on or something, like yeah, I'm gonna step in. But I think for those sorts of things, like relationships and that kind of stuff, the relationship y'all have between y'all self is not my business. I'm not dating you or you, and I didn't cheat on them with you or you with them, so that's not my business. It's kind of how I see it. But of course I would want, I want my friends to do the right thing, and I want the right thing done to them. So I feel like I do take that personally, in the sense that I do want the best for my friends. But really, it's just like I've really been learning to take a step back from that mindset, because it wears you down sometimes, having to be so emotionally invested in people and so worried about them and thinking about them all the time, when in reality, like, girl, what? They are their own person. They have their own brain. They have their own thoughts. They make their own decisions. They have the capacity to make their own decisions. So why should I expend my energy worrying on them when they're perfectly content with their life? Is kind of what I think about. But this kind of like makes me think about confrontation. So would you say you are a confrontational person?
Yeah. If it involves me, yeah.
If it involves you?
Yeah, I am very confrontational if it involves me. Or if I feel like you're doing something that rubs me the wrong way, then I will tell it to your face. Or I will message you, or I will pull you aside and be like, hey, what's wrong? Or in a joking manner, I will also say, oh, are you mad at me? Or do we have a problem? Because if you're giving me a different energy that you're giving everybody else, then I'm going to be like, what's going on? Or if I do see that you're making one of my friends super uncomfortable or unhappy, I'm just be like, hey, why are you doing this? But I would say I am very confrontational and I have zero issues confronting people. And if my friends want me to help them confront people, I can help them, but it'll be as far as going for an introduction, but I'm not gonna sit there and try to remedy the whole situation because that isn't my business. I'll start the conversation, but y'all have to finish the conversation yourself because I'm gonna exit out because I'm just like, I don't want anything to completely do with this. But tell me the tea later. But I will say I am very confrontational in the sense if it has anything to do with me, I will say something because in the past I have been very, the Vietnamese word is like hing or ngai. How would you translate that into English? Very quiet?
Yeah, like soft.
Soft?
Yeah.
So I was very soft when it came to people starting rumors about me, or because I felt if I were to just speak up and spoke my truth, who would listen? But then I realized the people that reached out to me to find out more and hear my side, I realized that helped me see who was my friend the entire time. The people that stuck by me or was willing to listen to what I have to say. However, when the rumors were being started, I never went to go confront the girl about it or try to sit down and talk to her about it. And to this day, she and a couple other girls still dislike me because we never sat down and really talk about what had happened. But it was just kind of dumb because I did run into them at Zed, and it was so funny to watch how uncomfortable they were around me.
How long ago was this?
2015? Almost a decade ago.
Oh my gosh.
2015, 2016, around there. Yeah, and the thing is that the fact that my presence still made them uncomfortable to this day.
Yeah.
It's just like, why? And because I'm not losing sleep over it. I'm not bothered by you.
Yeah.
But you're still bothered by me.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay.
That's interesting.
But at the same time, I have been told sometimes you don't even need to say anything.
Yeah.
You don't need to waste your energy on saying something that might just go through deaf ears. Because if they really are truly your friend, or they are somebody with a open heart or conscience, they would try to understand the situation better than listening to their own ego.
And I feel like that's kind of the approach that I'm realizing that I have too, because, well, I guess that's like what I've started, because I used to be a confrontational person, I would say, and when I was younger, this is in 8th grade, so I don't know if this would count, but I was very proud of myself in this moment because I was confrontational in a good way. There's this girl who did not like me at all, and she was a 7th grader. So she like bullied me. She was like, you get your pants from Old Navy because you're poor. And I was like,
rude.
But I like Old Navy and I like the way it makes my butt look. And so she was just mean to me all the time in PE, just all the time, like so mean. So like what did I do? What did I do? And so one time I had to sit next to her for something. I did not choose to sit by her. I didn't, whatever. But I had to sit next to her, and something came over me to where I just said, so why don't you like me? And she was actually very mature about it. She just said, I don't know, I guess I don't like you because you always seem like you're the ringleader and stuff.
Aww.
And you're always telling, I don't know what she said. She said something along the lines of that I was, not that I was bossy, I guess, but because I was like an 8th grader and, you know, people were hanging around me, or, you know, I don't know, because I don't consider myself a bossy person or very much of a leader in any regard. So I didn't really understand what she was saying, but she did say it with an open heart. And she just said, it just feels like you do this sometimes. And I don't know, I guess it just makes me upset. And then I said, well, I'm sorry that I made you feel this way, but that's not my intention at all. And I hope that we can work through this and move forward, because, you know, I really don't want you to not like me. I want to be friends with everyone. And it was such a mature conversation at 7th and 8th grade, you know, and I was just like, wow, like that moment like sticks with me, because I was like, I was mature and she was mature, and that was a very productive conversation. And I just feel like, I guess it's different when it's not really a stranger, but like a stranger, you know, because we were classmates in PE. We didn't have any other class together. We didn't have, like, we weren't even in the same grade, so I didn't see each other. We didn't see each other all the time. But I feel like it's different with your friends and your sisters or something, you know, because sometimes I get into fights with my sisters, and then we don't have those mature conversations like that just off the bat. We'll ignore each other for a few days and then pretend that everything's fine the next day, you know. It's just, and that's just kind of the way it goes with sisters or with family members, or you know, even with parents and stuff. Like, okay, we're gonna silent treatment each other now.
That's like avoiding the conflict, though. And
I
it keeps
know.
happening. Like,
But it's just like, I don't know. It's harder to get over that with different relationships, I feel like. But
true.
I guess my point is with confrontation and all that, I feel like I used to be very confrontational, very concerned about what people are thinking and what people are saying. And even the earlier part of this year, I feel like I was kind of like that, kind of confrontational, or wanting to get to the root of the problems, or if you have a problem with me, like, let's talk about it. But now I'm just like, if you have a problem with me and we try to talk about it, I feel like I've learned enough about how people think, you know, about how I think and about how other people think, that is sometimes when you do try to get to the root of the problem with someone, they're not going to listen, because what they believe in their mind to be right is their ultimate truth, no matter what. And they're going to sit in front of you and they're going to say and they're going to nod, and they're going to, I understand what you say, and they'll say all those little like phrases and stuff, and then they're going to walk away and be like, that was such a bunch of bullshit. So yeah, I guess it's not really my place to judge whether or not they will act that way, but part of me is like, there always is the chance that they will act that way, and I really just do not have the capacity to deal with that at all.
Yeah.
At this point in time, I don't want to deal with that. If you think a certain way about me, okay, whatever. Continue, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to prove anything. I don't have to prove myself to anybody. I'm here to do my own thing. I am well, I just said I feel empty inside, but I feel relatively content with my life. So I really just, I can't let all that nonsense into my life. It feels very high school. It feels very, I've gotten to the point where I just like, I'm over it.
Yeah, that's something I've been embracing myself, having to sit down and explain myself to people anymore. If you really want to know, you would ask me. When it comes to confronting people, it's more so if I hear something about me that's not true or whatever, it's just like, where the fuck you hear that?
Yeah, if it's something like outlandish like that,
it's just like, what?
Yeah, it's like,
but if you're also being weird at the party, I will call you out on it too. But you are right. We don't have to prove ourselves to anyone or having to change anybody's mind, because it's true. It's about it doesn't matter what our intentions are. This is something I learned from someone, is it doesn't matter what your intentions are, the reaction will always be the same, no matter how many times you're going to explain yourself, no matter how many times you try to rephrase it. If they don't have the capacity to have an open heart and open mind to listen to you, they're not going to change your mind. And that's what I want people to learn and understand, that walking away is probably the biggest thing you can do for yourself, especially in relationships, toxic relationships where it's the same issue over and over again. There's a reason why they're not receptive to change, because they have so much things that are going on in their head. And when it comes to family, honestly, I'm arguing with my sister. Well, not arguing. I'm not talking to my sister right now, but I still love her. However, I'm just tired of having the same issue happening over and over. And I realized it was one of those where we basically just swept it under the rug constantly. But this time around, I can't just sweep it under the rug. Don't get me wrong. There are the past couple nights when I was driving, I do reminisce about her, because I miss her, because we always talk every day.
Right.
And I will be crying. And I know, like, I can be the person to reach out, but I just feel I still need that space, because is she going to have the capacity to have the space to listen to what I have to say? Because that night I just felt constantly overly judged by my own flesh and blood.
yeah.
And you know, having to be abandoned by somebody that is your flesh and blood was one of the worst things to ever feel, especially since, you know, she's my best friend. So I do miss her. I mean, eventually one of us will reach out to each other. I mean, they're going to my siblings are all going to Japan tomorrow, so I will wish them a good trip and everything. Yeah, because I still love them all.
Yeah.
But the space is needed definitely, and hopefully our hearts will grow fond. Because like they say, space will make the heart grow fonder. Right?
Yeah, distance makes the heart grow fonder. Yeah. And it'll be good to get some time apart and kind of think about things a little bit more, I guess I would say. But it did remind me of, I was talking to my sister the other day, and I was just like, am I the problem? Am I the problem? Like, is something wrong with me? Am I the problem? And she just kind of point blank said, you treat me different than how you treat your friends. So I can't really give a honest or 100% accurate answer, which is true. You know, we treat our friends differently than how we treat our siblings. Like, I would say, yeah, I am a little bit more, I wouldn't say spicy with my siblings, but not as doting, I guess, because I mean, I love my sisters, but like my friends, it's like, oh, I gotta treat them all nice and good so that they stay my friend. You know, like,
because you're stuck with your flesh and blood.
Yeah,
and
like
seen
sisters,
every single side of you already.
Exactly. Like my sisters have seen every single side of me, so I don't really go, hey, how are you doing? Of course, we're not gonna talk to our siblings that way, but yeah, it's the, like, how she acknowledged it. I was like, that is very true, and we just kind of accept it as that's how we are to each other.
Aww.
It might not be the best, I don't know, but that's just how we treat each other, and we both understand that.
Have they seen your emotional side at all?
Oh my
Have you
gosh,
ever cried?
yeah.
Like, cried to them?
Yes.
They have?
Yes.
Aw.
Yes. I would say my sisters are my best friends, really.
Aw.
Like, even though we do get into fights every now and then, it's just, I'm so grateful I have sisters, because maybe if I had brothers, it'd be different, but, and the thing is, sometimes your family isn't there for you forever, you know? Sometimes people leave their families forever. Or they
have to cut
sometimes
the
they have
toxic-
to. Yeah, sometimes they have to.
I'm pretty sure some of our viewers and our friends have had to cut family members off for great reasons too.
Yeah, for very valid reasons. And so not necessarily to say that your family will be around forever. It's not guaranteed, but I'm so grateful that I have such a strong relationship with my sisters, to the point where, yeah, if we do get into a fight, I know it'll be okay. Sometimes the fights are like, dang, I don't know if it'll be okay. But it always just ends up being okay. And I don't know if it's because we're sisters, or I don't know what it is, but I know they're always in my corner, even if they are mad at me for the day.
Yeah.
You know? So I have no doubt that things will be okay with your sister.
Yeah.
Because it just happens that way. I don't know.
It is true.
It's
I
that
mean, this is
bond.
not our first time we're fighting and we haven't spoken to each other in a long time. There's been multiple occasions and we always end up being okay. I just feel it's one of those things where I do wish that she wouldn't judge me so quickly, or like, I'm not the same person as I was back then. And as it goes back to the thing we were talking about being misunderstood from a couple episodes ago, I just want, if I am doing something that isn't really like, what is she doing, you know? And instead of like just quickly judging me on it, just let me know, because sometimes I could also be very unaware too that I would do it, and if it does cause a problem, I would want somebody to say something to me so I can try to either fix it or be more aware of it. And I am working on to be more mindful about my actions and all. But it's one of those things where I wish my sister just wouldn't quickly to judge, or just sit down and just talk to me, you know?
Yeah, or instead of judging, just
Don't yell at me.
face the problem at hand.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, you shouldn't have done this and you shouldn't have done that. Because it's so easy to say, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. That's something that I practice a lot too, is whenever, you know, shit goes down, it's done. It's already done. There's no going back. So enough of the next time don't do that, or you shouldn't have done this, or like, oh my God, it's already done. Let's just deal with the situation at hand and move on. So that's my, I guess sometimes when I'm really, really mad, I'll say something like that, but then I like take it back immediately.
Yeah, that's why in my relationships now, too, I actually need time to, when I'm mad, just leave me alone for a little bit, because I don't want to start saying things that I'm gonna end up regretting. Because when I did not hold back, I don't hold back at all and end up saying things that I regret. And so, and for some reason, a lot of my exes hate when I do this, is when I ask for space, and which is really weird.
Yeah.
But then they ask for space and I give it to them. It's like, why? I'm just like, you asked for it. They're like, you're just supposed to be fighting for me. You're supposed to make it better. I'm just like,
geez.
why do I have to make it better? Like, you're mad. You're mad, not me.
Yeah.
You know, or I know, like, you know, we also feed off each other's energy. I know, like, if I'm keep being angry and stuff, it might make him more angry, which sucks when, like, you're angry and it makes your partner angry.
Yeah, and then they make it about them.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think you understand. I'm upset because of this and this and that.
Yeah, but they're angry.
You're upset because I'm upset.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
not
like,
fair.
Exactly. And just and that's when they start gaslighting you, and then making you feel like you're the crazy one, and that just make you, you know, I'm just like, you know, what? Oh man, I really did date a lot of shitty people.
Oh my gosh.
Like, one of my exes did point out that he thought I was gaslighting him, but in a sense that because, like, I was getting upset with the things that he was doing, because honestly, I was his first girlfriend. So things that were common boyfriend, like etiquette and knowledge, wasn't so common for him. He dated girls before, but I was his first girlfriend.
Like serious relationship.
Yeah. And so there was things that, you know, I was trying to teach him and all, but I realized that you shouldn't be teaching a man how to be a boyfriend or anything. If they want to step up or want someone to teach them, then they can go find someone to teach them. And as patient as I was trying to be with him, I just remember getting upset because he kept doing the same thing over and over, and I told him that upsetted me. Yeah. And he was just saying, he was also, like, listening to a bunch of his women hating friends. They all hate their girlfriends.
Oh geez,
FYI.
That's a red flag.
Yeah, but he was getting relationships advice from them because they are in relationships. And tell me why, like, they were all telling him that I was gaslighting him because I was just crying and being upset, and I was venting that out to him. When he said, you're gaslighting me and stuff, I'm just like, how am I gaslighting you? And that kind of, like, psychologically made me start thinking, like, fuck, like, am I really gaslighting? Am I doing this? And that kind of, like, started making me more attracted to showing my emotions and stuff with him. But then when I don't react the way he wants me to, he would get mad. For example, when we broke up, the fact that I wasn't, like, crying or begging him to come back or, like, trying to, like, fly down up there, past me would have done that. But the moment he broke up with me, I mean, don't get me wrong, I did kind of talk to him about, hey, like, let's just be on a break or something and like talk later. But after talking to my best friend about the whole what had happened and realizing that the fact that he already said let's break up, that's gonna mentally fuck me, because I have been in that relationship where we were on and off.
Yeah.
The moment I remember feeling that feeling of him saying let's break up, now that's in the back of my mind. And so I called him up and reverse Uno him and broke up with him. Because and the shitty thing is the way he broke up with me was as bad as he didn't cheat on me, but it was just as bad.
Oh gosh.
And so it just made me realize that that relationship really taught me a lot of how much I grew as a person, but at the same time it just made me realize that it's not worth losing sleep over.
I was gonna say how your ex had said let's break up. Okay, word, let's break up. Because how am I supposed to act towards you when you give me this? You want to break up with me? Okay, I'm taking what you're saying at face value. Let's break up. I think sometimes people just want to play those little mind games, those little mental little mind game trap things where it's like, oh, I'm gonna say one thing but mean another. What I learned is whatever people say, you should just take at face value. You can't assume someone's intention. You can't assume what they're thinking. You can't assume an ulterior motive. You take what they give you at face value, and you just got to run with it. So yeah, you want to break up? Okay, let's break up. That's what it is. Let's just do it then, because that's what you want. unless you say differently, then say differently, you know?
I feel like that should never be like the first things anybody say.
Yeah.
Relationships is a two-way street, and it only works if both person put in the effort. And if the first thing you're gonna think is let's break up, then you are definitely not mature enough to be in a relationship to begin with. Because let's say if things get hard when you're married, we're gonna do divorce already.
Right.
Like, think about it. Before, people need to realize before jumping into a relationship, if they are emotionally ready for a relationship. If you know you're not, and the situation you are in, you are not, don't waste people's time. Don't play with their emotions. And yeah, there are so many trial and error, but like with that last ex, I'm not in high school anymore. Play childish games, you're gonna get childish results.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah, because I ain't about to chase you. I am a grown adult now.
Right.
I have a child. I have a life to live. I don't chase. And I will never chase after another man again. Because that's the least of my worries. And if you want to listen to your friends who don't even like their relationships, that's on you. And don't get me wrong, he regrets it later.
Exactly.
Because you have expressed that multiple times, but we're not even speaking to each other anymore because I decided to cut all my exes out because it's just not worth having to have that connection anymore.
Yeah.
Because as I said a couple episodes too, I feel like I want to give everybody peace of mind, especially if they're in a new relationship. That I just rather just distance or like cut that my past in the past, you know.
Right.
If anything, I want to also respect my future partners and all. But even though Sean is your first and only,
yes. So I didn't have a lot of experience in the relationship world. Sorry, you guys.
how do you feel about people who are still friends with their exes?
Okay, sorry, backtracking. One last thing I want to say about that is that if someone threatens to break up with you and they don't mean it and they're using it as a threat, that's emotional manipulation right there. Like straight up, I'm not even trying to use buzzwords, but if they say let's break up and they don't mean it, catch them in that. Okay, you want to break up? Let's break up. Like, I'm being serious. Let's do it, because you're not going to threaten me with words like that. That's crazy. Threaten me? Threaten me? No.
Like you said, play stupid games, get stupid prizes.
Exactly. And that's a stupid game, to threaten someone. Okay, well then there you go. Guess what? We're broken up now. So that's what you get. So yeah, okay, that's that on that. Being friends with your exes?
Would you ever? Or even though Sean is hypothetically speaking. Or how do you feel about people who are still friends with their exes? Or
I mean, I don't see a problem with that, I guess, if it was like if they broke up on mutual terms, like because they've just grown apart as people. I've thought about it where, like, man, like if Sean and I ever broke up, it would have to be for a reason so bad that we could not be friends anymore. You know what I mean? Like, because that's my man. Yeah. Like, I would never leave him. I would never break up with him. And if we did, it would have to be something so traumatic to where we could not be friends anymore. But I think I guess I don't really see an issue with that, or I guess I've never really thought about it that much, or I guess I don't see a problem, I guess, unless they hurt you really bad. Because sometimes my friends will be okay with people that hurt them really bad. And I'm like, did you forget what they did to you?
Yeah. I feel like the most common answers to why people are still friends with their exes would be they have so much history, so they can't really let go.
Exactly.
But that's also another thing, is why would you still want to be friends with somebody that you have so much history and then seeing them like all up on another girl or whatever?
Yeah.
But then, you know, if you're emotionally mature enough to get past that, then kudos to you.
Yeah.
Was one of my longest term ex. We were together for 2.5 years, but we broke up. We still remain friends, and a lot of people thought that was weird, which is kind of like, why? Because they would see we would hang out with each other.
Yeah.
But I did end that friendship, even though we were at the mature state to be friends. I ended the friendship because I was hearing a lot of issues was happening with his current girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
I would come up in topic even though like we wouldn't haven't hung out
Right.
together in so long. I mean, we did used to work together, and that's already like an issue and all, even though it's been almost freaking since 2018. But I want to respect their relationship and give her that peace of mind that, hey, like, I would rather just remove myself completely out, so that way y'all don't fight about it. Because again, everybody belongs to have somebody, and if my presence makes you so uncomfortable, everybody out there, that apparently my presence makes some people uncomfortable still.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I would rather just remove myself from the situation. Unless, we got trapped in a train or in a car or an elevator.
It's just
like, I was like, oh, I can't really remove myself right now.
Like, what am I supposed to do? Throw myself off the building?
Exactly. Or like if I I have a job and like we do end up working together, it's just like, well, this is work. Either let's be mature about it or you can leave first.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah.
That's really nice of you though. Like you are a girl's girl, even though you don't know that girl.
Yeah.
And you would do that for her. Like that's really nice.
Yeah, thank you. Because I know that feeling of the intense worry of what happens if they get back together or they're talking behind my back and all. And I don't want anybody to ever feel that sense of unsafety. If that's the correct term. The constant worry. So I just would rather be that person to give that peace of mind, because I know damn well these men, or boys, they don't have the
do not have the capacity to do that for them.
Because they'd be like, there's no issue, blah, I got it. It's like, no, really got it, because maybe you're not reassuring her enough. So I'm gonna do it for you, okay? Because you don't really know how complicated a girl's mind is. And like what we're thinking, and that's how I had to like explain to like my guy friends. I'm just like, don't do this. Because they would think X, Y, Z. And all, like, especially my guy friends who play dumbass mind games with girls that I actually like. And all, I'm just like, she'll be so good for you if you stop playing games with her. It's like, why do you need to play games? If you truly love or like someone, like, why do you need to play games?
It's so interesting how a girl's mind thinks and how a guy's mind thinks. Because sometimes, I mean, they always think that they're right. They always think that it's not a big deal or whatever. But like, okay, maybe it's not a big deal to you. It's a big deal to me. You know? And they just like can't really like empathize, I guess, or like that's what I feel like a lot of. I'm not gonna say that every guy does this, but I do notice this a lot where, you know, a girl brings up a problem and the guy goes, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay, it's not a big deal to you. And it really doesn't have to be a big deal to you. That's fine. But at least give her the reassurance and give her what she needs to process that issue within herself. You know, it really probably isn't a big deal to you. And that's whatever, you know, but
there's a reason why she's bringing it up to you, bro.
Yeah, you know, like
it's a big deal to her.
Yeah.
Maybe not be a big deal to you, but it's a big deal to her enough for her to say something. And I feel not just guys, sorry, we're going a little guy tangent, but girls too, we don't really sit back to understand our partner better. And that's where I feel a lot of relationships have been going south lately, is that we don't try to understand their love languages, how their mind works, their emotions. What can I do to make you feel better? Like,
yes,
I feel like that's actually one of the questions I always ask my partner is, in this situation, what can I do to help you?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like, if what I automatically do might not be the best.
Yeah.
So that actually applies to, like, a lot of things. I wish my sister asked me that. What can I do to help you feel better? You know? That's a simple question that you can just ask, not to just your partner, your friends too. Like, what can I do to help you feel better, or, like, make you happy, or what can I help remedy the situation? And I feel a lot of things can be fixed if people just sat down and talked to each other.
Yeah, because I feel like nowadays is what I'm noticing, or I don't know if it's because we're older and we're like starting to realize more things, but it's just that people don't have as much empathy as I thought that they would, or maybe less empathy than they used to, with this whole like shift in mindset of our day and age, because I feel like how we think today is vastly different from how the universe thought when we were kids. But I feel like there's a lot less empathy in the world, and it's more so, okay, you have a problem, but what about me? You know, well, now I have a problem. It's like, okay, but you didn't bring up the issue. I brought up the issue. So can we deal with my issue first, and then we could get to that later? I think people just nowadays, they want that.
The spotlight on them.
The spotlight. More. Yeah. Like, oh, you have a problem? Well, actually, I have a problem. But it wasn't about you. And now you're making it about you.
Yeah. I really... That's another whole topic that I can go about tangents about. But it's just and listen. Sometimes, again, you don't know what that person's going through. And if they are bringing it up to you, please have an open mind and an open heart to give them the space, because they're going to you for a reason. You are their safe space. And invalidating how they feel affects them tenfold. And you don't know how much what your words can affect them. Because to this day, I still remember everything all my exes and situationships have told me. And that have severely affected my confidence as a person and in myself. That I used to think, why am I not good enough? But now I think, damn, why did I waste my time? Because I am good enough.
Period.
And again, if people are coming to you with an issue and they want to talk, you should sit and just listen and give them the space for them to open up, because you don't know what's going through people's mind. And again, the happiest people too could be the saddest person ever. And it sucks because there has been a lot of things suicide related. There has been a lot on the news and in personal friend circles too, that suicide rates are going up. And it's because, you know, people are going through things that they're so scared to talk about. And it opened my eyes that I really want to create that community for people to come and just talk. So that's why I'm glad that we started this podcast, because I want us to be a safe space for people. And I know a lot of people are going through things, and if you want to remain anonymous, I will be creating a Discord soon for all of us. So that way people, our friends, people online, can all come together, and you can be, again, the greatest thing about on Discord, you don't have to put your face on there, you don't even have to put your real name, but if you just want a place to just vent, and for somebody to just listen, or if you also want us to talk about your story on our podcast, keep your eye out on that. It should be coming up soon. So
yeah, so that'll be really fun, because I want to hear y'all's stories, and I feel like people are really excited about our podcast and how relatable it is, and how everyone is dealing with these problems. You're not alone. You're not at all. So if you ever need someone to talk to, we're here. I might not have the best emotional capacity to deal with it, because that's another story for another day. But, you know, by all means, please feel free to reach out if you ever feel like you're in a dark spot. We are here for you. I am not even exaggerating. Maybe at like 4 a.m. Central Time, I'll be asleep. But that is really the only time that I wouldn't, because I'd be asleep. But genuinely, we are here for you guys.
Exactly. And anything that we say on our podcast resonate with anyone. And if you want us to dive deeper into it, just let us know. Send us a message or email, or once the Discord comes up, if there's a topic that you want us to revisit, or you want more details and juicy tea, just let us know, because we'd be more than happy to revisit topics to talk more about, so that, because I want to inspire others to help others, because I feel we're lacking a lot of empathy, but change does start with us.
Like, this is more than just a podcast to me. Like, I want this to be a community for others. You guys know us, like, it's T and Cindy, y'all know us, like, we're not strangers. So don't ever feel like you're alone, because we're here.
To the strangers that think that we're strangers,
we're not strangers.
We're not strangers, especially we're putting all of our trouble online. We're not strangers. Yeah, y'all already saw us cry, so I don't think we're strangers anymore.
Not at all. We are not strangers. But that is the end of this segment. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Go find the Discord. Go put your little story in there. See y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.